expressed in the following program are those of the hosts, guests, and contributors, and do not reflect the official views of Real TV, its management, or affiliates. Content is provided for informational and entertainment purposes only. Viewer discretion is advised.
Greetings and a very pleasant good afternoon to all of you from the studio of Real TV located at the Freds Plaza, Eastern Main Road in Sawa. Another installment of NPTA Speaks, National Parent Teacher Association Speaks, a voice from the parents and teachers of Trinidad and Tobago, heralding what we do and what we are all about. I greet you again. My name is Walter Stewart. I'm the National President of the Trinidad and Tobago National Council of Parent-Teacher Associations Incorporated. Still reeling over the overwhelming success of our mid-year convention held last Saturday at the Princestown East Secondary School. At the end of the day, our membership, our delegates returned to their various regions and their homes, energized, committed to serve the children of Trinidad and Tobago, and committed to fulfilling our motto, Home and School United for the good of the child. Special greetings to our featured speaker, Madam Justice Gillian Lucky, who did a Herculean task and did a fantastic job in really bringing home the message, positioning PTA to strengthen voice, visibility, and values. Thank you very much, Madam Justice, for that presentation last Saturday. We are here again, our fifth installment of NPTA Speaks, and with us today is Mr. Akini Harry, criminologist and criminal justice researcher. And he will tell you all about himself, what he does, and how he is going to be able to relate and dialogue with us today on issues relating to our children. Mr. Harry, pleasant good afternoon to you, and welcome to the studio of Real TV. Tell me, who is Akini Harry, and what is your claim to fame?
Good afternoon, Mr. Stewart, and thank you for the lovely introduction. For those of you who are familiar with the name Akini Harry, my name or my profession, is synonymous with, crime. Akini Harry is someone who has a vested interest in the study of crime and all things criminality. By profession, I am engaged in a lot of research surrounding young people, as it relates to crime prevention, rehabilitation, and all things of that nature.
Right. Tell me, you have been involved in the PTA at some point in time. What has been your involvement? To what extent were you involved in the PTA? And possibly, how do you intend to continue being involved in the PTA?
I first became affiliated with the PTA 2 years ago. In the Victoria region. I would have represented San Fernando Girls Anglican as the president of that unit, after which I would have been the second vice on the Victoria region arm of the NPTA.
Got you. Very good. And of course, you've had a very good experience, I'm sure.
Most definitely.
Good. Today's topic, Akini, is protecting our nation's gems, a national response to violence against children. I was impressed with an article I read by Alexander Bruzuel, where your name came up, and you were indicating in that article that criminalization against children really has broader social issues. You care to elucidate on that particular information?
So what this statement really means is that when you look at crime or violence against children, you know, we only tend to look at one extreme end, which is murder or homicide.
Yeah, right.
Right? But violence against children is broader, is a more comprehensive topic.
Yes.
You know, we have to look at, on the other end of the spectrum, we have to look at children who are neglected,
Right.
abused, who experience domestic violence and things of that nature.
Yeah.
And in doing so, in looking at the causes of that, one has to take all that into consideration when looking at the solutions.
Correct.
And what would that be? You know, as a nation, we have to engage all stakeholders,
Yeah.
right? The Ministry of National Security, families as an institution, the school, the communities at large.
As well, yeah.
You know, we have to look at the matter from a comprehensive standpoint.
Right. Very good, very good. The Child Protection and Adoption Agency report recently revealed that over the past 5 years, 2020 to 2025, there were approximately 5,500 child victims of criminal offense. A humongous figure. Imagine 5,500 of our gems, the future of Trinidad and Tobago, have been or experienced some form of criminality. How could we, or what measures could be put in place in order to abate, reduce, mitigate what is taking place in our society amongst our gems?
I'll tell you something, Mr. Stewart. The number 5,000 is a lot, right? However, we also have to be mindful that the number could be significantly more, right? In cases like these, especially when children are involved,
Yes.
you know, you always find that parents or community members are always reluctant to make official reports.
Okay.
So while 5,000 may be alarming,
Yes.
you know, the reality is that the number might be significantly more.
Maybe 10,000, some unreported, as
Correct.
As you're suggesting. Yeah.
So what can we do to, as they say, abate or remedy
Correct.
this phenomenon?
Yes.
Because it is a phenomenon.
Certainly, certainly.
Right? What can we do? I think as a public, the public Trinidad and Tobago
Yeah.
firstly needs to become more aware of what avenues or what resources are out there
Yes.
to help with the matter.
Got you.
You know, a simple thing like an institution like the Children's Authority.
Okay.
Many people are not aware of some of the services that they provide.
Right.
You know,
right,
so
right.
when it comes to children, we have to become more familiar
Correct.
with the avenues that are out there. When you look at the school community,
Right.
a lot of people aren't aware that social workers and guidance counselors are
Right.
present in schools.
Yeah.
You know, maybe we don't have the number, the
Right.
quantity
Yeah.
that we need.
Yeah.
But many people fail to utilize whatever limited resources we may have.
Good.
And that's the first step
Right.
in looking at solutions.
Got you. Got
You know?
Let me get closer home, as close as last weekend, and the name Mercedes Lane would linger in the hearts of right-thinking citizens, fathers, mothers, guardians, and loved ones for a long time to come. Mercedes Lane, according to the reports, was put in a car by her grandfather. She lived about 3 minutes or 5 minutes away from where the grandfather would have placed her in the car. Never got home, was found the following day, half nude, dead. This rocked me personally as a father and a grandfather, because any crime against a child speaks to some unknown something happening that is almost unexplained, inexplicable. So that these things are always going to be bothering any right-thinking father, mother, guardian, custodian. What mechanisms you think, or on hindsight, what could have been done differently in order for us not to be at this place today, to be able to have this kind of report coming to us, to even face a situation like what Mercedes would have faced last Saturday?
It's a difficult question.
It is. It is.
And it's difficult because you could never really predict when something of that nature could occur, right? But what can we do? Not to dwell on that, what can we do?
Yeah.
It goes back to my earlier point, right? As a nation, we, and as parents in particular,
Right.
we need to be more mindful of the places that we allow our children to go.
Yeah.
We need to be mindful of who they are around,
Yes.
right? And this is not me casting blame on anyone.
No, I get you.
You know,
Yeah.
had it been a case where the grandfather,
Yes.
according to the story, the
Correct.
grandfather
Yes.
would have put her in a taxi.
Correct. Yeah.
Now, I am not at liberty to say, well, the grandfather did not know the taxi driver.
Got you. Got you.
I am not at liberty to say that, but what I'm saying is that we need to be more mindful
Yes.
of things surrounding our children.
Good.
Who their friends are at
Yeah.
school, the people that they talk
Right.
to.
Yeah.
In this advent of social media,
Yeah.
we need to be mindful of what they're doing on social media.
Got you. As we talk about being mindful, let's be mindful that we must take a break now and we come back and we continue on this same issue because it's very interesting and important for us to elucidate what you are speaking about. Take a break, pay some bills and come back right on the NPTA Speaks.
You're viewing Real TV. Thanks for choosing us.
Are you looking for the right space for your business? Fred's Plaza has the space you need. We offer professional rental spaces designed for growing businesses. Conveniently located in San Juan on the Eastern Main Road, opposite the PTSC terminal and between Royal Castle and Mario's. Easy access, high visibility. For inquiries, call or WhatsApp 868-384-7142 today, or visit Level 3 Fred's Plaza for details.
Ladies and gentlemen, young people, senior citizens, it is my pleasure and privilege to invite you to look at the program Inspired on Real TV at 2 p.m. every Wednesday afternoon. Inspired is designed to lift your spirits, to help you overcome depression and failure so you could be an outstanding, extraordinary success. We have special experts every Wednesday who will inspire you to do better, to be your best self. So may God bless you. And remember, every Wednesday at 2 p.m., please look out for the program Inspire.
Welcome back to NPTA Speaks, National Parent Teacher Association Speaks, and guesting with me today is Mr. Akini Harry, criminologist and criminal justice researcher. And just before the break, we were looking at the issue of predictability or unpredictability. And I wanted to carry you slightly, Mr. Harry, into looking at the expression, the proverb, it takes a village to raise a child. Now, we are told that this is a close-knit community in South Trinidad, where more or less everybody knows each other, almost like a family. In that spirit of the expression, it takes a village to raise a child, one would have thought that the person who would have transported young Miss Lane would have been a little more understanding, a little more brotherly, a little more fatherly, a little more camaraderie, and the thought that was engaging his mind at that time. And again, the matter is before the court, somebody has been held. We have to be very careful here now. But I want to linger on the fact that there is the time, now is probably the time, the opportune time for us as citizens, as fathers, brothers, cousins, looking out for each other. We are reminded of the fact that it takes a village to raise a child. In that context then, how could we now relate that to what took place last Saturday in Iran? Yeah.
As the old saying goes, it takes a village to raise a child, and now more than ever, we can attest to that statement.
Yeah.
What can we do? Far too often, based on my observation, far too often, when matters like these arise, community members tend to, for whatever better word, mind their own business.
Right.
Right? And now is not the time for that. We're seeing what is happening in Trinidad and Tobago. We have to make it our business to ensure that every child is safe and protected.
Yes.
And what that means, it means making a report when you see something wrong.
Yes.
It means speaking out.
Yes.
It means us as adults having a conversation about something.
Correct.
If something is not in the best interest of a child.
Yeah.
It means parents co-parenting.
Yes.
It means collaborating with the school
Yes.
to find out, what is going on. It means teachers being able to identify signs in children.
Right.
Signs that might be indicative of something that is wrong at the home or in the community.
Yeah.
Going back to the topic of predictability,
Yes.
we also have to look at the fact, and it is a fact, that there are people in Trinidad and Tobago who suffer from mental conditions.
Right.
And in cases like these, now I'm not saying that the accused
In any
suffers
way.
from a mental
Got you.
condition. I'm not saying that.
Got you.
I'm not at liberty to say that.
Got you. Yeah.
But we have to be mindful
Yeah.
that there are many people in society that have underlying mental conditions.
Correct.
And when you're dealing with things like that, we have to ensure that there are legislations in place to deal with that.
Yep.
We have to ensure that there are adequate treatment facilities
Right. Correct. Yeah.
to deal with these people. Thinking ahead,
Yes, certainly.
what
Certainly.
happens if the accused is reprimanded,
Right.
serves time,
Yes.
and comes back out?
Yep.
So we have to look at the method of
Yes,
holding
got you,
and
got you.
treating
Yeah.
persons who fall within this criteria.
Got you. The effect of what took place last Saturday and what we are still suffering from with regards to Miss Lane also affects the school community. I'm told she was very well liked. She was active in the school. We saw videos of her modeling, etc. So she was well accepted in her school community. And of course, this is going to affect negatively her colleagues, the other students who she would have played with, spoken with, had a good time with. How are we now going to be able to deal? Might not be your particular role as a criminologist, but the impact negatively so on the students which she has left behind. How are you going to be able to deal with them and give them the assurance that it might not happen again at this level in our school?
When something like this happens, we have what we call primary victims, secondary victims,
Okay.
tertiary victims,
Okay.
right? The scope is large.
Right.
So when dealing with children, more particularly children at that particular school or at that class or in that community,
Got you.
one option, one viable option is always counseling.
Good.
You know?
Good.
Young Miss Lane would have had close friends.
Yes.
She would have had relatives
Correct.
around the same age
Correct.
group.
Yes, as well.
You know, so counseling is always a viable
Good.
option.
Good.
Added to which, more public education.
Yes.
We need to have a conversation with these young people
Yes.
and teach them how to identify warning signs.
Right.
We need to have a conversation about where to go to
Yes.
if something is wrong.
Yeah.
Because what you find with children of this particular age, and again, this is not related directly to Mrs. Lane, right? This was the manner in which this incident would have transpired.
Yeah.
It was unpredictable.
Right.
But what I'm saying, if any particular child
Yeah.
is affected by the incident, by the homicide,
Yeah.
then we have to create avenues for that child
Right.
to go and sit down
Good.
and have a conversation, whether it be with the school counselor,
Right.
whether it be with the teacher,
Yeah.
the principal.
Got you.
We have to create avenues.
Yeah.
You know, and it's only in creating avenues
Yeah.
that we could really reassure these children
Got you.
that something like this may never happen again
Got you.
in their community or
Yeah.
in their school.
Got you. And that brings me to an issue with regards to trauma and trauma-related incidents, because some of these children might be traumatized by what took place with their colleague, and that can transcend even into their teenage life, their adult life, and continuing. I'm using this in the context of some of what is taking place in our schools, school indiscipline and school violence could be as a result of trauma experienced by those who are deeply involved in school violence. So that when they see what has taken place with their colleague, in their minds, they are thinking how unjust this was to my friend. She did not deserve that. And living with this for years, 2, 3, 5 years down the road, they are now in a position where they can now act out and probably take advantage of and almost take revenge on other people because of the trauma that they have been involved in prior. How do you link that then what is taking place in some instances with regards to bullying and school violence, particularly at our secondary schools, with regards to trauma in particular, traumatized?
Very good question.
Yeah.
Now, when it comes to trauma, we have to be mindful that the effects of trauma could be long-lasting.
Correct.
It may not manifest itself one day from now or 1 week from now.
Right.
It might be years from now.
Got you.
Right?
Yeah.
Could it be a case of these manifestations bearing fruit years from now? It may well be so. It leads me back to the point. We have to create the avenues
Yeah.
where these young children can speak out.
Yes.
You know, where they could let go that emotional trauma. You know, and it's only in doing that that we could prevent
Yeah.
that from happening long term.
Yeah.
You know, but you ask a question, right? Could what we are seeing in the nation's schools at the moment, could it be as a result of unresolved trauma?
Correct. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. My answer is yes.
Yeah.
It could be.
Yeah. So that if we deal with these students even from now, and not one-off, it has to be something continuous, sustainable, especially realizing what they had gone through this particular weekend. And we work along with them on a consistent basis. It is probably going to mitigate to some extent some of the issues that they might have otherwise been facing when they get older at a later stage in life. That's what I'm asking for. So there has to be continuous counseling, as it were, for these students, knowing what they had experienced last weekend with their colleague.
Yes, it has to be continuous.
Yeah. And therein lies the issue where we are advocating NPTA now for screening at the ECCE level when the students come into the Early Childhood Care and Education Center. And the screening should involve, Mr. Harry, a level of home visits by social workers and guidance counselors so that they understand what is taking place in the homes. It is only by being able to understand what is taking place in the homes, single parenting, for example, abusive relationships taking place in the home, etc., marijuana, you know, sexual promiscuity as well. And if we are able to understand that from the get-go, when the child gets into school, and we can work with the families, family by family, now this will take thousands of dollars, millions of dollars, because it will not be a walk in the park. But the issue is you are using the funds which you would have normally have to use at the end of the game, at the back end, prisons, police officers, etc., using those funds up front to ensure that the society is more or less scotch-free in terms of thinking of being involved in crime. You understand the homes that they come from, and you are dealing with them at the point of their need and giving them the support, some of which you already mentioned, the support that they need in order to be able to live a good life at the end of the day. Some of these things we have been speaking about for quite a long time ago, and it's only when we address them from the very source, rather than putting a plaster, police in school, for example, school matrix discipline, for example. Those are plasters on the sore. But you deal with it from the ground level, from the initial stages, it is going to bear more fruit and mitigate, not eradicate, because we're not going to eradicate school indiscipline or even crime, but mitigate, reduce, lessen what is taking place in our schools and even in our society, in the nation, Trinidad and Tobago, when it comes to indiscipline, crime as a whole.
I am definitely an advocate for that.
Yeah.
Because it graduates into, when you look at what is happening in Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah.
We have a culture where we do not engage in preventative work.
That's it.
It's always
That's
reactive.
it. Yes, that's
so
it.
you look at the prison
Correct.
system,
Yep.
thousands of people on
Yeah.
remand,
Yeah.
thousands of people convicted.
Yeah.
And we spend a lot of money holding and treating people and trying
Yeah.
to rehabilitate them.
Correct. Yeah.
So in a similar vein,
Yeah.
in a similar manner,
Yeah.
I am definitely an advocate for spending that money up front.
Correct. Correct. Yeah. Proactive.
Hiring more
Exactly.
social workers,
That's right.
counselors,
That's right. Yep.
going into the communities
Yeah.
and in the homes and finding out, what is wrong, what
Right.
are the root causes, what is causing this phenomenon in the school.
Yeah. Yeah.
Preventative work is always better
Yeah.
than rehabilitative work.
Yeah. And that is really what our cry is. And it's going to be for a long time. And it's only up until the powers that be realize the merit in this particular action that it is going to really be able to bring some kind of relief to what is taking place in our society. Proactive, preventative, that's the way that we have to go. Rather than using the reactionary measures down the road when the horse is already galloping out, it's already broken, then of course you're trying to fix it. It's, in my humble view, too late. So let us use those resources up front in order to guarantee that we're going to get a better society in the long run. Again, it will take billions of dollars to get this done. And it will be a whole of nation approach now, more than the government, more than the TTPS, more than, the Ministry of Education. All of us have to put our shoulders to the wheel in order to accomplish exactly what we are asking for at this point in time. But again, hold for a while. Let's take a break, pay some bills, and we're going to be right back in a short while. NPTA Speaks.
You're viewing Real TV. Thanks for choosing us. In a world full of noise, choose clarity. The Real News digital publication is your choice for important news coverage. From influential figures shaping our nation to a powerful week in review that keeps you informed. The weekly edition is available for download on all of our social media platforms. Smart, sharp, essential. information. Stay informed, stay educated, stay empowered. I am Zalisa Budu Singh Rupani, inviting you to join me for the rebirth of Apne Sitare, Our Stars, a vibrant and spectacular show celebrating the incredible local talents of the sons and daughters of Trinidad and Tobago. Experience the beauty of our culture through singing, dancing, and musical performances as we keep the arts alive and shining bright. Tune in right here on Real TV every Sunday from 1 p.m. for Apne Sitare, Our Stars. See you there.
Let's get straight to the point. I am Dale Edwards, Dale the Voice, and we're going to get straight to the point right here on Real TV. Join me Monday to Friday, 4 to 6 p.m. when we talk the hard truth. We're not beating around the bush. We're getting straight to the point, dealing with real issues, social, politics, and much more. Monday to Friday, the only place to be is right here on Real TV.
Welcome back to NPTA Speaks today, Thursday, June 11, 2026. In the studio with me is criminologist Mr. Akini Harry, and we are speaking on the topic protecting our nation's gems, a national response to violence against children. Mr. Harry, Angelo Tobias Plaza, Goodwood in Tobago, reminds us that violence against children will not only be committed by strangers, but also by those entrusted with care, upkeep, and nurturing of children. Regrettably, this would have been the case in the Tobago scenario, again, based upon the reports. And again, you have to be very careful because somebody is in custody charged with that offense. But I think it is more painful when a loved one or supposed loved one would have harmed or caused injury to a child in particular. The community has a role to play here somehow, and we have to look at the community again for support and help with regards to how did this happen? Were there warning signs looking at this family, mother, stepfather, child, 2 years old? And was there anything that probably the grandmother could have done, the neighbor could have done, to sort of avoid, prevent what would have taken place in this particular situation? And again, you mentioned earlier about minding your own business, so that sometimes the neighbor might have been aware, seen something or heard something and said something suspicious or something out of the ordinary is taking place in that house. How could we, again, as a community now, do something, anything, say something, see something, when there is an indication that all is not well in a home?
I'll tell you something, Mr. Stewart.
Sure.
We have to unlearn a lot of the things that we have learned over the years growing up. We have to unlearn it.
Yeah.
You know, you made reference to what I would have said earlier about people minding their business.
Yes, yeah.
You know, we have to make it our business.
That's right.
When
that's
children are involved.
Yeah.
Now, one may not want to,
Yeah.
but you have to.
Yeah.
You know, and if we make it our business as a collective,
Yeah.
then we could mitigate cases like these.
Yeah.
You know, and you made a point, a very relevant one. Sometimes the perpetrator may be within the home, and how do we treat with that? You know, if you do a little bit of research,
Yeah.
right, you might be surprised to learn that more often than not,
Yeah.
the perpetrators of violence against children live in the home.
Oh.
It's a family member.
Right.
It's someone close to the family.
Right. Yep.
You know, if you do a little digging,
Yes.
you would understand that.
Yeah.
So with that being said, a statement that our former Prime Minister would have made, you know, comes to mind.
Yes.
He made a controversial statement.
Yes. I
You
remember.
know, choose your men
Yes,
wisely or
I
choose
remember.
your partner
Correct.
wisely.
Yeah.
You know,
And he was criticized, condemned,
He was
ridiculed.
condemned.
Yep, for that statement.
but
yeah.
it's a very valid statement.
Exactly.
You have to know.
Yeah.
Remember, at the end of the day,
Yeah.
you have a child or children.
Yes.
Let's say you're a single mother
Yeah.
and you're outside the court and you're looking
Right.
for a partner.
Right.
You have to be mindful
Yeah.
of the people that you bring in around your children.
Correct.
Now, one might argue that these signs are not always evident in the onset.
Right.
You know, one might argue because
Yeah,
I've heard the argument before.
Yeah. Especially in courting, you at your best when you're courting. So you don't see those kinds of signs at all during courtship.
Very correct.
But when there is now that matrimonial or that cohabitation, then is when you see the real individual.
You have to be mindful.
Correct.
But what struck me with this particular case here,
Yes.
with young Angelo Tobias and Tobago,
Right.
what struck me about it, you know, we had the gentleman, the accused,
Yes.
coming out and giving a confession.
Right.
We had that.
Yeah.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but even when that occurred,
Yeah.
at no point in time did we see the mother of the child.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes, I'm listening.
At no point in time did I see the mother of the child, you know, coming out and saying something.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, it hasn't been reported. I mean,
Well,
he
it-
might have said, but it hasn't been reported.
hasn't been reported.
Yeah.
You know, I know I saw statements from the grandmother
Right.
where she condemned
Yes.
the action
Yeah.
from her son.
Yeah.
You know, but we have to be mindful of
Yeah.
the people that
Yeah.
we bring,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
we
Yeah. Definitely.
bring around
Definitely.
our children. We have to be
so.
mindful.
Definitely so. You know, and I'm told that in the prison system, for example, especially where prisoners interact with persons of that particular nature, where they have harmed children in particular, other prisoners themselves are ghastly mad with persons who come into their domain having been accused of such, to the extent where they even will go to the point of harming that accused person. So even though they are in prison for whatever crime they would have committed, there is no excuse whatsoever. I'm showing you the extent to which even other prisoners as well are thinking that once you come to a child, you are almost on holy ground, as it were.
Quite true.
Yeah.
So when you're looking at crimes like rape,
Right.
violence against children,
Exactly.
there's a sort of unwritten rule.
Correct. Yep.
And
yep,
there's
yep.
a taboo
Yes. You
associated
cross
with
the line.
Yeah,
Yeah.
associated with
Yeah.
this type of behavior.
Yeah.
You know, so when you go into prison
Yeah.
and there's not official,
No.
you know,
Yeah.
we,
just have
we've
been
heard the
told. Of course,
conversations.
Of course.
You know,
of
when you
course.
go into prison,
Yeah.
you find that these type of offenders,
Yes.
offenders who fall into this particular category,
That's right.
they are at risk
Yes, certainly.
to be harmed.
Yeah. Definitely.
You know?
Definitely.
So, yeah.
Yeah. And you know, this thing has dated back years because, you know, we make mention of Sean Luke, Akil Chambers, Hope Arismandes, and there are lots of children, and the history is there to show where the children have gone through a lot when it comes to criminal activity involving children. And, you know, we have to do something, Mr. Harry, say something in order to be able to address this particular situation. And of course, you made mention of several lifelines, as it were, several agencies that can assist us. How much more in terms of legal affairs now, or legislation, can the government or the parliament now undertake in order to ensure that it is enforceable and yet it is proactive, as we have been mentioning before? Are there any other mechanisms that we can put in place to ensure?
When it comes to legislation,
Yeah.
a common misconception in Trinidad and Tobago is that we do not have enough.
Right.
Right now, there is legislation in place to deal with such matters. Again, enforcement or
Right.
implementation
Yes.
is often
Critical.
the problem.
Exactly, and it's critical. Yeah.
We would hear the layman calling for things like, you know, start back to hang them, capital
Right,
punishment,
right,
the death penalty. You know, but the reality is that these things are still on our legislation. These things are on our legislation.
Yes, it is, yeah.
You know, for different reasons that we wouldn't get into today.
Yeah.
For many different reasons,
Yeah.
you know, it's more difficult to implement capital punishment.
Yeah, it is.
You know, and that's the reality that we are faced with, because our judicial system is so slow.
Yeah.
So slow.
Yeah, it is.
You know. So while legislation could be improved, it could always be improved.
Correct. Yeah.
It could always be
Yeah.
improved.
Yeah.
Right? There are legislation.
Yeah.
There's the Children's Act.
Yes.
There's the United Nations Convention on the Rights of
Rights of the
Children.
Child. Yeah.
We are guided
Yeah.
by these pieces of legislation.
Right.
We are guided by them. You know? But again, like I would have said, our lack of ability to implement
Right.
is sometimes very crucial
Yes. Implementation is important.
in dealing with these
Yeah.
matters.
Yeah. As a criminologist, you don't only get involved in criminalization of children. There are other aspects of criminology as well that you're involved in. You care to share with us some of those other aspects briefly?
Could you elaborate?
No, I know that you're involved in child criminal activity or victims of crime being children. Are there any other aspects of criminology or crime that you're involved in as well at any other level besides children being involved?
Yeah, well, criminology itself is a very broad field,
Right.
right? So we look at gangs, we look at policing,
Right.
we look at the criminal justice aspect of it, which
Right.
deals with, you know, how we hold and treat offenders,
Right.
people who enter the justice system. We look at crime trends, we
Right.
look at data.
Good.
There's a whole host of different issues that we look at.
Right. Good.
Yeah.
Good. So do you work closely with the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service at that level, really, to be able to advise them as to aspects of crime that could be intelligence gathering, for example? Is it that at that level as well that you deal with, or no? That's not part of your job spec.
I wouldn't say it's not part of the job spec. The Trinidad and Tobago Police Service,
Yeah.
they are guided by what they know.
Right.
Right? As criminologists, our job is to conduct research
Right.
and inform public policy.
Okay.
You know,
Okay,
so
okay.
based on the findings of whatever research may
Right.
have been done over the years,
Got you.
criminologists might come out to the forefront and say, you know, these are the recommendations that we
Right,
could
okay.
make
Got you.
to help
Got you.
improve in this particular aspect.
Okay. Got
You know, we could only recommend.
Yeah.
Our job
yeah.
is not to advise. We could
Got you.
recommend.
Good.
You know,
good,
the
good.
onus is on the Ministry of National Security,
right,
the
right.
Commissioner of Police,
Got you,
etc.,
got you,
to
got you.
implement whatever recommendations
Good.
that we may put forward.
Got you. And we talk about implement. Let us also implement a break. Take a break, pay some bills, and then we come right back with our last segment, NPTA Speaks, speaking with my guest, Mr. Akini Harry, criminologist.
Real TV. Thanks for choosing us.
When security matters most, choose Catch Security Services Limited. We are proudly approved by the Ministry of Homeland Security. We protect your home, business, community, and much more. Our services include professional baton and armed officers, specialized K-9 units, mobile patrols, secure cash pickups, secure transport, and pepper spray applications and supply coming soon. Don't wait. Secure your assets now. Contact Catch Security today. Call 622-6601, email info@cssl-tt.com, or visit our office at 30-32, Saddle Road, Maraval.
Broadcast your yagnas, weddings, and Hindu celebrations live on Real TV. Share your special moments with us. Share your devotion with the nation. Call us at 373-8946 or email realtv.corporate@gmail.com to host your celebration today.
Hi, I'm Zalisa Budu Singh Rupani, and I'm inviting you to join me for Conversations with Zalisa right here on Real TV. It's not just another talk show, it's a space for real stories, real insight, and real impact. We cover it all: health, law, parenting, relationships, drug and substance abuse, mental health, social issues, and so much more, with expert guests who help bring clarity to life's most important questions. So whether you're looking to be informed, empowered, or simply inspired, this show is for you. Weekdays at 10 a.m. with repeats on Real TV.
Hello everyone, I'm Kwesi Park. I invite you to join me right here on Real TV for the program Unfiltered Youth. This series will engage a panel of young persons from a very diverse cross-section of our society, talking or discussing the real issues affecting them in their daily lives. So join me right here on Real TV on Saturdays from 1 to 2 p.m. with repeats on Sundays and Wednesdays.
Protecting our nation's gems, a national response to violence against children. That is the theme of our dialogue today. Myself, Walter Stewart, National PTA President, host of NPTA Speaks, and guesting with me today is Mr. Akini Harry, criminologist, in the studio. Mr. Harry, this is our last segment, and we're going to look at specifics now with regards to safeguarding our nation's children at various levels. Let's start with religious bodies, churches, mandiris, mosques. What could they do specifically with regards to assisting in safeguarding our nation's gems, our nation's children?
You know, religion in any society,
Sure.
religion plays a very important role
Yeah.
in the culture and the climate.
Yeah.
You know, if I go back to when I was a child,
Good.
you know, some of the values that I would have
Right.
gathered
Correct.
from the church, you know, has stood with me till this day.
I know. Yep.
You know, so, and I think over the years, you know, we've become a bit more secular
Yes.
as a society.
Yep.
So if we go back
Yeah.
to going to church,
Yeah,
going to the
yeah,
mosque, going to
right,
the temple,
correct, yeah.
you know, these values that one would receive,
Yeah.
you know, they can be inculcated in the children.
Correct. Yeah.
And that might result in a better Trinidad and
Correct.
Tobago.
Yeah. Let me watch biblical here to you as well and tell you. The Bible says, train up a child in the way that he should go, and when he's old, he will not depart from it. So those values we are talking about, to inculcate in the child, starting at the very early stage of the child's developmental life. If you inculcate that into the child, when the child is 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years old, those values, training up a child would never depart from the child at all. And it is that particular training that we need to have our religious bodies almost make it compulsory, mandatory for the child when they come into the churches, the mosques, the mandirs, the temples. You inculcate those values in them from an early stage. I tell you, when they are old, they will never depart from it. That's the church, that's the mosque, that's the mandirs. What about our schools? What could our schools do to safeguard our nation's gems, our children?
When it comes to the school, you know, another important institution,
Yeah.
you know, schools need to, let me rephrase that.
Okay.
The school
Yeah.
needs to work more closely with the home.
Right. Correct. Yeah.
You know, that is the mantra of the NPTA.
Correct. Home and school united for the good of the child.
Right?
Yeah,
That is
exactly.
the mantra.
Of course. Yeah.
So, home and school needs to be more united.
Yes.
Parents need to be a little more involved
Right. Correct. Yeah.
with things at the school level. Right? If you do a survey around Trinidad and Tobago,
Yeah.
I kid you not, Mr. Stewart.
Yeah.
There are parents, I should say,
Right.
who do not even know the name of their child's teacher. I kid you not.
You are correct. You are correct.
I kid you not.
Yep. You are so correct.
You know,
Mr.
so
Harry.
parents need to
Yeah.
take a little more interest.
Yeah.
Liaise with the teachers, attend PTA
Yeah.
meetings.
Correct.
Let me show you something. I remember clearly growing up. I'll use myself as an example.
Sure.
Right? At home and at school,
Good.
two different people.
That's you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Two different people.
Okay.
At home and at school.
Yeah.
Sometimes a child might be a very good child at home.
Right.
And in school,
Yeah.
not so good.
Got you.
Vice versa. It
Yeah.
goes both ways.
Yep. It happens.
Right?
It happens.
My point is, the point is that as parents, we can never really know what is going on if we do not have a close relationship.
Exactly.
With the school.
Yeah.
You know, so there's one of the reasons why it is so important for parents,
Yeah.
schools, the community,
Yeah.
to have a united
Yeah.
front
Yeah.
as it relates to children.
Got you. Well, you preempted me as well because I was going to also ask you what role could the PTA play? But of course, in encapsulating all, you brought the PTA into focus there as well because certainly the PTA has a role to play. The PTA is there to bring about that unison, that togetherness, that camaraderie between the home and the school so that there is that togetherness, almost like a ring on finger arrangement, a marriage even between the home and the school in order to ensure that we safeguard the very children to which we now refer to as our gems, the nation's future. And that's a good plug for the importance of parent-teacher association in every school. And our wish, our desire is to have all our schools, 800 or so of them, learning institutions in Trinidad and Tobago, affiliated with the National Parent-Teacher Association, bringing home the point of the relevance, the importance, and significance of an organization referred to as Parent-Teacher Association. So we have a role to play in safeguarding our nation's children. We have an integral role to play as members of the Parent-Teacher Association in safeguarding our nation's children. We want them to be the very best at the end of the day and make a good representation of themselves in society in Trinidad and Tobago. But let's move on. We are looking at building trust as well. And in building trust, we're also looking at warning signs. Well, you mentioned it before, that the parent is supposed to be so intimately, closely involved in the child's life that they can almost see danger ahead or something wrong with my child today. Why isn't he reacting as he normally would? Why isn't he speaking to me and communicating as he should? And that would be a warning sign. Shouldn't we as parents understand our children, learn our children, that we are in that position, in that place where we know when something is wrong? How do you deal with that?
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Most definitely. I think warning signs are one of the first indicators
Right.
that something is wrong
Right.
with a particular child.
Got you.
You know, withdrawing from
Yes.
activities that he or she may usually partake in.
Right.
Change behavior.
Right, correct. Yeah.
You know, these type of things, we
Yeah.
must be able to identify when our child's behavior is changing.
Yeah.
It's only then
Yeah.
that we would know, well, okay, I could step in.
Yes.
If we are not able to identify when something is wrong with our
Yeah,
children,
exactly. Yeah.
all hope is lost.
I know. I would say crap, smoke your pipe, you know.
And it is for the same reason that as a population,
Yeah.
children continue to be one of the most vulnerable groups in our society.
Yeah.
Understand the point that I'm
Yeah.
getting to?
Correct. Yeah. Correct.
For this particular reason,
Yeah, correct,
children are
correct.
one of the
most
most vulnerable groups in
You're
our
correct, you're
society.
correct. Yeah. Yeah.
If a parent is unable to see that something is wrong,
Yeah. But something is definitely wrong.
who would see it?
Exactly. Something is definitely wrong. It puts in the focus as we wind up as well, the understanding about peer pressure and peer counseling. No, I say it all the time that my son, my daughter might not have that communication between parent and child, but they might be willing to communicate with their colleague in the classroom and even share personal issues as well with the colleague rather than me, the parent. It happens. So that it calls for, Mr. Harry, that understanding and that training of what we call peer counselors in our classes, in our classrooms as well, to be able to deal with children who are at risk. And again, safeguarding the child, but at the peer counseling level as well. Is that something that you would want to encourage as well, peer counseling?
It is something that I would encourage.
Yeah.
However, I have certain, I don't want to use the word concerns.
Okay.
And it's not that it's a bad idea.
Right.
You know, I'm just trying to figure out, you know,
We have to be cautious as well. You're being very cautious.
you know, you're placing this responsibility
Right.
on children. Now, we have to look at the age, the different age
Right,
groups of the
right.
children.
Yes, as well.
So, for example, if we're dealing with, let's say, children between the ages of, like, we say, 5 and 10 years old, then at that level, at that maturity level,
Yes.
something like peer counseling might be a bit difficult to implement.
Got you.
However, if you're dealing with, let's say, children between the ages of 12 and 17,
Teenage sort of
going
thing,
through
yeah.
puberty, they might be a little more mature
Okay.
or a little more capable
Right.
of handling a responsibility of that nature. You know, so while it's a good idea, I have reservations as it pertains to that.
Yeah. This might be our last question, and it's a kind of tricky question. What is your greatest hope for our nation's next generation?
My greatest hope
Yeah.
is that, and it's coming from me as a father,
Got you.
you know, somebody who likes to see children enjoy life and be
Good,
happy.
good.
My greatest hope is that Trinidad and Tobago could really reach to a place where, you know, children could be free to be happy.
Yeah.
Where they don't have to worry about
Yeah.
this one trying to
Yeah.
violate.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
just want children to be happy.
Yeah.
Children should be able to enjoy being children
Exactly.
without
Exactly. Yeah.
having to fear
Yeah.
for their safety.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I think that's my greatest hope.
And I join you, Mr. Harry, in expressing those same sentiments. That is my personal wish. That each child, bar none, should be happy, enjoy life to its fullest, achieve their full potential without the fear of looking over their shoulder. If there is fear at all, it should not be fear of somebody's going to harm me or hurt me. Mother, father, relative, stranger, should not be anything at all. But I just want to enjoy life as a child to the fullest, to the max, and achieve my full potential. Because certainly, each child can achieve their fullest potential if they get the support and the assistance of the backing of we, the adults. We who are concerned about their welfare and their well-being, more so members of the National Parent-Teacher Association, who claim to look out for their interests and their concerns and their well-being. So you are correct. That is my hope as well, as I'm sure the hope of all citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, the welfare, the well-being, the concern, the happiness, of the children of Trinidad and Tobago, who we call our gems, our future. Let us protect our future. Let us protect our gems. Let us protect our precious ones, the children. And on this note, we end our installment of NPTA Speaks. See you next week, same time, National Parent Teacher Association. Mr. Harry, I thank you for guesting with me, and I want to wish you all the very best.
It was a pleasure.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you so much.